Hey YouTube, I'm back with another mechanical pencil review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Rotring 300 2mm lead holder. This is the first lead holder pencil that I'll be reviewing, and this was sent to me by my benefactor. And I really appreciate receiving this one because up until this point I haven't really gone into the whole market for lead holders. And in case you're not aware of what a lead holder functions similar to a mechanical pencil, but unlike a classic 0.5mm or 0.7 or 0.9mm mechanical pencil, you get access to much thicker leads with a lead holder. And so when you depress the plunger on a lead holder, you get this big, thick lead. This is a 2mm lead. Lead holders come in a wide variety of sizes, but 2mm and 3.15mm, and I think they even come in as large as 5mm. And lead holders are, really intended for people who are drawing with a mechanical pencil so that they can have a thicker lead size and get a richer line, I guess. And so I'll be reviewing the Rotring 300, which is the lowest in the drafting line of Rotring pencils, unless you consider the Rotring Tiki to be a drafting pencil, in which case that would be the least expensive out of all the Rotring models. But the Rotring 300 is eclipsed by the Rotring 500, then goes to the Rotring 600, which I will be reviewing soon, and then the granddaddy of them all is the Rotring 800, which I hope to get someday. That one's a little bit pricey. And so what about the Rotring 300? Well, Rotring 300 is an all plastic body. It's the lowest end of the Rotring all black drafting line, and you can see that we have the Rotring, the red ring here. It has a lead hardness indicator that is a friction lead hardness indicator, and it requires just a little bit of pressure to move it, but it's also not going to move. It's not going to slide on its own. And so lead hardness indicator, in case you want to put in a variety of different type of lead, depending upon what your sketching needs are. Pocket clip. Very strong, but also has a good spring to it. We have the Rotring logo, which is embossed on the pocket clip. Getting near the tip of the pencil, the grip is a plastic knurled grip. I'm not crazy about it. It's not a very sharp knurling, probably due to the fact that it's plastic, and so it is not as grippable as some mechanical pencils in that regard. And then we have a steel lead clutch mechanism for the 2mm lead. And in order to sharpen the 2mm lead, I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this one so that you can sort of see what is involved with sharpening. So I'm going to go ahead and break it. I'm going to waste it. Okay, so I just broke it. And so now I want to sharpen my 2mm lead. Well, some people just simply use a knife or something to sharpen the thicker leads. But I went ahead and I bought on Amazon a Cume Own It number 250 pencil sharpener that is specifically designed for lead holders. And so there's two holes in this pencil sharpener, a hole for a 2mm lead and a hole for a 3.15mm lead. And so all you do with this particular type of sharpener is just like you would with any other pencil. You stick the lead into the sharpener and give it a little twirl, and these are really sharp blades. It doesn't take a lot of twisting in order to sharpen it. And so I'm going to try to get a little bit more there. Okay, and there we go. We have a nice sharp point for our 2mm lead. And so, yeah, you can order these on Amazon. I think I paid like $5.60 for this particular lead sharpener. And the unfortunate part about this is that it comes in whatever random color they send you in. So they sent me yellow, which happens to be my least favorite color, but nothing I can do about that. I find that it's really hard to find lead sharpeners, even in art stores. Like my local Dick Blick Art Supply, I'm not able to find a lead sharpener of this nature. Okay, and maybe you can use just a conventional pencil sharpener, but I got one that I wanted to have that you just stick it in the hole that's provided and you can sharpen your lead. And so that's an example of how you would go about sharpening a lead for a lead holder. And so the top cap, no eraser. Okay, there don't tend to be erasers, I guess, on lead holders, really. Some of them come with erasers, I think. And so what's our rundown on the Rotring 300? How are we going to rate it on my rating scale? Now, I'd like to point out that the 300 also comes in 0.35 millimeter lead, 0.5, 0.7, and I think possibly 0.9 as well. I'd have to check to confirm on that. But what's the overall review on the Rotring 300? Well, let's go ahead and run down the rating scale. Writing experience, I'm going to give it an okay. I'm a low gripper. I talk about this periodically here on my channel. And since I'm a low gripper, where I'm gripping this pencil is down near this smooth steel part, and so that does not give me as strong of a grip as maybe some other people would have if they're gripping it up here where the knurling is. But honestly, folks, for this knurling, a plastic knurling, it's not very sharp. Even if you grip up high, it's just a really slippery ordeal. I mean, it's not as slippery as if you have a straight up smooth barrel, but it's not really doing a lot for you. And so for the grip, it's not really impressive to me. So for writing experience, I'm giving it an okay. Let's run down the list. Let's go to quality. You know, this is a Rotring product, and it shows. Quality, I'm going to give it a good. Even though this is a plastic pencil, it's got very sturdy construction. Obviously not as sturdy as a brass Rotring pencil, but, you know, very, very sturdy for what it is, especially at the price point that I'll talk about here in a second. And then features. Well, when I review mechanical pencils, I'm looking for feature-rich pencils, and the Rotring 300, you know, kind of falls behind in that category. I'm actually going to rate it a bad on the features, not because it's a bad pencil per se, but it just doesn't have a lot of variety in terms of what you get for it. Yeah, it has a pocket clip. Yeah, it has a lead hardness indicator. But in terms of other features, I mean, I guess you could argue that since it's a clutch pencil that it's pocket safe because it's not pointy at the end, and so I guess that's something that it's got going for it. But, you know, without an eraser, I find it difficult to rate it very highly or to any level on features. So maybe instead of rating it a bad, maybe I just don't rate it all on features, because this is pretty much as bare bones as a mechanical pencil gets. And then price, it's cheap. It's $9 USD on JetPens. You can get it anywhere from $7 to $14 USD on Amazon, depending upon which lead size you select. And so it's not going to make the top 10. It's not going to get an honorable mention even, because I think for an even cheaper cost, the Pilot S3 is probably a better buy, with a solidly constructed body and a really good grip and just a well-constructed pencil that doesn't have a lot of features beyond the basics. And so if you were going to get a pencil like this, I would just recommend that you go ahead and get a Pilot S3, which the Pilot S3 doesn't even make my honorable mentions list. I mean, there's so many great mechanical pencils out there. That's not a knock on the Pilot S3. It's not a knock on the Rotring 300. It's just, you know, something to consider. And so Rotring 300, lowest of the drafting line with the black and red with the red ring for the Rotring line. And so, you know, check it out. It doesn't make my top 20 overall mechanical pencils, either top 10 or honorable mentions, but it's certainly not a bad pencil in any way, shape, or form. And so thanks for watching, and continue to check out other reviews on my channel here. And if you'd like to check out my blog, it's at Kleckser, KLECSER.wordpress.com. I do not only reviews of mechanical pencils, but I also blog about my gaming hobby, I should say. Well, it's kind of a habit too, habit and hobby. And I also talk a little bit about teaching kids games and teaching adults games. And so if you'd like to check that out, just thought I'd put in a little plug. So thanks for watching. Have a good night.